Well, it's Sunday.
I mean, how you feel being on the live on Sunday? I kind of like it.
Kind of like it, but I still play a little foosball on Sundays, so it'd be a little
Yeah,
the
no, it's
scheduling,
definitely
the
yeah,
scheduling.
it
I mean,
definitely may be a one off. What'd you say, Bub?
I like Saturdays way better, but I just didn't want to. I ain't want to miss this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, I think it was you, Eddie, B
Yeah,
was out. So I'm like, that ain't even no reason to do this shit. I would have had a bunch of feelings. You feel me?
Yeah.
yeah.
Bub, how was Virginia? You liked it down there?
Well, Virginia straight. I got fam. I went down there for a funeral, so it wasn't like I was chilling and shit. But yeah, I frequent like the Newport News, Virginia Beach, New Kent County area, so I like I rock with Virginia. If I was ever to relocate, it would be towards like that way. Honestly,
Yeah, but like Hampton Roads area.
Yeah, the Hampton
yeah,
Roads area is nice. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I like it.
Hold on, I'm getting some feedback. Nobody, you can't watch the show at the same time. So just if you got something playing in the background, you know what I'm saying. All right, I'm gonna let people file into the live. Adrian, you at work?
Yeah,
Why you work so much, nigga?
yeah. I got mad kids, yo.
Yo, bro, kids. Do you think we gonna die early because of these kids?
Yeah, I know. I'm just calling it what it is. I know I am.
Yo, it's a fact. Yo, you work yourself to death for the kids, yo.
Yo, I gotta go to
You
work
work.
right after this, man.
You know what I'm saying? Your kids and your wife, you work yourself to death, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they. I think they appreciate it, but I don't even know if they know what it actually takes. Like, I got this fucking Peloton sitting behind me right now. They just dropped the shit off yesterday. Like, yo, it's crazy, bro. Yo, I was so mad yesterday, nigga. I came in the house dumb late, right? We on this diet, but I was DJing. I'm looking for my hash, corned beef hash. Nigga, the shit was gone, nigga. You want to know how mad I was, nigga? I said, I ain't gonna go to McDonald's. I ain't gonna, you feel me? I get to the crib, the shit, nigga. I tore the fucking kitchen up, nigga. Yo,
Yeah.
I wanted to, yo, yo, man, we here. DJ Hampton Stampede, we in the building. This might be risky inside the locker room. How y'all doing this morning, man? What's up, Seth?
Lovely.
What's good? What's good? What's good, fellas?
B, what's popping?
Lovely.
Adrian, what up?
What's good? What's good?
Bub, how you?
I'm good, man. I got my kids this morning fighting over chicken and donuts.
A lot of combinations.
Exactly.
Hell of a combination, man. God damn. What else? What y'all do that every Sunday?
No. It just it just so happened that my sister-in-law bought some chicken to the crib last night that my daughter said, "Oh yeah, I want to save it to tomorrow." But my son, big ass, bring himself downstairs and he smashed it. Now she crying and screaming and he ate my chicken and then the donuts show up and it's like he ate my donut. Like, come on, man.
Eddie, what's poppin'? You say you woke up for the second time this morning?
Yeah, man. Bruh had me out for like 4 o'clock, man. Knocked out, woke back up, went to sleep. I'm like, I'm on 1,000 right now. I gotta go to work.
And you getting too old for that shit, Playboy.
Bruh.
This might be risky inside the locker room. We here. All right, man. Look, I gotta get y'all take on this. All right. We broached the topic on Thursday, but I just need to get y'all takes on this, man. Said, how you feel, bro?
How I feel that she just gonna slide just like most females slide at the end of the day. For whatever reason, they can do, I mean, courts, life, whatever. They can do whatever they want to do. get away with it and then just keep it moving, and we just got to be held accountable for the shit. Like, just fuck it, just it is what it is.
Why is that?
Dog, I mean, just think about it. Like, let's say, you know what I'm saying, there's a quote unquote abuse situation where a female putting her hands on a guy. As a guy growing up throughout the years, you can't really approach it the same. You can't go to court. People gonna look at you funny. You call the police, everybody gonna look at you funny. Man, send her ass to jail. Fuck everything else. Put her where she need to be. That's false accusations and everything else, man. She got to go.
But do you think we could call the police and be safe in calling the police?
No, not at all. You see what I'm saying? But that's the whole point. Because I mean, even her lie, oh, I didn't want to get shot, didn't want none of us to die. I mean, what are you talking about if you calling the police because you allegedly got shot? Why is everybody going to die? Like, none of this shit makes any sense. None of it.
Man. But if we call the police in those situations, how many times do we actually come out on top?
None that I know of, for the most part. I mean, how many times have we've seen where guys working in quote unquote security field, they might be armed, unarmed, the police get called, the police come to the guy, most of the time of color, that has a firearm and putting them in handcuffs trying to control them when they're the people that's trying to control the situation. I mean, we're always put in a bad situation at the end of the day when it comes to it. Yeah,
you ain't lying. Bub, what you think about this, bro?
I feel like Meg is a trifling whore.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like she basically, got all up in her feelings and created this narrative that, Tory was in the wrong, and I feel like she pretty much tried to get back at this dude because he was smashing her and her friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no man gonna lie on their meat. If I smash, I smash. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So she just got emotional, and Tory got caught, and she created this big fucking story that just spiraled out of control. And now Tory looked bad. He lost wild bread. She owed him some bread because his quarantine radio was popping. You know what I'm saying? She pretty much killed that whole wave with this bullshit. And now this is forever gonna be like an asterisk on homie's career and reputation.
Yeah, and the thing is, why would Tory lie on his meat though? Like,
exactly. What are you getting doing that?
Yeah, even a regular nigga. Like, why would he have to do that?
Exactly.
Like, that shit is ill, bro. And I'm just pissed off at the ladies for not holding her accountable.
Never. But like on the show, everybody made an excuse. But what if, how about, as soon as the story came out, they buried that dude. They buried him. Period. It wasn't well, there's a possibility that he might have, quote unquote, did. Nah, fuck that. They said, nah, he got to go. Period. But I mean, that's what it is. I mean, a court of public appeal, go ahead and get rid of him first, then figure it out.
Yeah. Yo, Eddie, bring your $5 ass back, nigga. You over there throwing up and shit. God,
put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
Nobody told your old ass to stay out all late. Yellow shirt wearing motherfucker.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Damn it.
Hey yo. I'm all for this woman empowerment wave. Don't get me wrong, but yo, not like this, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tear black men down and saying why you trying to bring yourselves up. Like, that shit is whack.
Yeah.
Then you gonna go do a sit down, right, with fake fucking tears. Like, come on, man. Like,
no tears. It wasn't no tears, bro. Yeah, I ain't seen not one trickle, not one line in her makeup. I don't give a fuck how good it is. It wasn't nothing.
Nothing was coming out, yo.
Yo, fuck Megan, man. Yo, it's crazy. I was DJing yesterday and I played that. She got a shit called Plan B. It sounded like the Wu-Tang and Jodeci.
Yeah.
And this chick came up to me. Shout out to her. She's like, yo, cut this shit the fuck off. Cause of all this Tory Lane shit.
Yeah.
Right? She's saucy. So I played it again. She came right back up, almost tripped and all that. I'm like, yo, so at least she has some accountability for her. Cause the other women don't, man. It's a goddamn shame, man.
Yeah.
ladies, if you listening to this and you still listen to Megan Thee Stallion,
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
all right, we done with her, man. Yo, did y'all see Netflix shit? What they put out? Let me show
What?
y'all. So here it goes. So Netflix sends culture memo to woke employees saying you can work elsewhere. Right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So it says basically it says one specific section of the memo gaining notoriety is an artistic expression section, what seemed to be Netflix answer to year filled with woke employees like complaining and shit. Remember about Dave Chappelle? So they
Yeah.
basically told the employees, if we not stifling artists. So if you got an issue, you could go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And this the first now Netflix been losing money. If you notice, everybody can't use your account anymore, and they raised the rates. You know what I'm saying? So oftentimes with that, people get in this recovery mode, right? All money's good money. You know what I'm saying? But Netflix said, fuck it. Like, we not doing this. You don't get to cancel people because they expressing themselves. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get y'all take on this. Adrian, what you think?
Nah, that's dope. That's fire. You don't see that too often at all.
Ever.
And for them to be such a big brand too, to finally do something like that. So that's fire, yo. I might even I ain't gonna get my own account. I'm gonna keep using my ex-wife joint. But if she take hers away, I might get me a Netflix account.
Yo, it's ill. B, what you think?
All for it.
It's about fucking time, right?
All for it.
Like, it's about, is that it, B?
Oh, yeah, I'm all for it. I don't think that the cancel culture thing, I don't think that it's something that should have even been started. So I applaud Netflix for finally taking a stand for it. I just think that we live in a society, we got a whole bunch of sensitive sissies out there, and they want people to tiptoe and walk around on eggshells to their feelings.
Yeah.
But depending on the capacity of which someone is speaking, a person would have to accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it.
Yeah. Said, what you think, man? Netflix standing up.
Yeah, I support it 100%. I used to add or said, my bad.
Nigga, I'm not talking to you, Eddie. You've been off camera for 10 fucking minutes.
Go ahead, Ed. Do what you do, Ed. Go and do your thing, Ed.
Fuck Eddie, nigga. Go ahead, Sad.
No, man. I mean, I'm with B, man. You know what I'm saying? Fuck these quote unquote woke people. Fuck all these fake ass hoteps and all these people that are about some culture that they making up in their fucking mind. Like, all this shit is just bullshit these days. Everybody just creating their own thing and trying to make their thing there. Nah, it is what it is. I mean, you can't talk bad about nobody. You can't keep it real with nobody. You keep it real with them, they getting their feelings, man. I don't got time for all this bullshit personally, but that's just me.
Facts. What up, Eddie? What you think about Netflix standing up?
I'm glad, man, because it's too much nonsense, man. It's been going on for too long. I don't know if we're talking about it, but there was a story this week about some Indian doctor going to perform surgery to allow a trans man to give birth to a baby. Wow. So they're going to put a makeshift uterus on a nigga so he can push out a kid. And it's just like they're going to call it the first man giving birth. I'm just like, you put a pussy on a nigga, doesn't make that the birth canal, man. This nigga's just gonna, bust out a baby through his asshole. I don't know what they doing. This shit is crazy. So I don't know what's going on, but shout out to Netflix.
That shit is wicked, nigga. Bub, do you think Netflix standing up will bring everybody back, or you think it's just gonna be it's gonna like be like going with the wind?
It might not bring some people back like right away, but I mean they'll come back just like everything else. They'll come back same way, because that's why I respect them for putting that shit out, all this fake woke shit. Same way people, when fucking R. Kelly's allegations first came out, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knew R. Kelly was doing this shit back in the days. They knew already, but everybody was still listening to his music. And even to this day, the dude still gets support. So all this fake woke shit, that shit be killing me, man. At the end of the day, people gonna come on a public platform and try to be all, socially conscious and woke per se, but man, when they log out, you already know they be with this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I hate all this shit. So salute to Netflix. I'm still gonna rock with Netflix. Netflix, if y'all start charging $30 a month, I'm still gonna support y'all based off of that memo that y'all put out.
Word, man. Niggas spend $30 by accident.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nigga, you got kids, nigga. You spend $30 at fucking McDonald's, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That ass, my nigga. That's
Salute
what's up,
to
man. Hey, shout out to Netflix, man. I just wanted to run that by y'all. All right, so Dre ain't on here. This nigga's not a morning person. So
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
but he had a topic, right? So he had a run-in with with a Chinese dude, right? At a Starbucks. It had like a bar, you know, it was like one of those uppity Starbucks. It had like a coffee bar where you could actually sit, right? So the bartender's a white dude, so he's like, hey, is the bar still open? Because the guy didn't, the bartender, you know, what do they call the coffee maker, didn't
The
acknowledge
barista.
didn't acknowledge him, right? And so then the white dude's like, they don't have liquor here, or the Chinese dude's like, they don't have liquor here, you know what I mean, like in a condescending manner, right? You know, and then so the barista like walks off, and Dre's trying to get a drink, and then he's like, no, I know they don't have liquor, but I'm obviously, this is a bar, we're sitting here. He's like, they don't have liquor here. Like, he wasn't even minding him, right? But the Chinese dude and the white dude seemed to have like a connection, you know. So Dre's question was like, do these minority groups kind of identify with white people more so, and then look at us in a particular way? You know what I'm saying? So the question was, how do white people influence our interactions with other minority groups?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do white people influence our interactions with other minority groups? Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, but by proxy, the way you explained it is just like the level of white supremacy has seeped into other cultures who have experienced white supremacy themselves, but they got themselves out of it, right? They got themselves into a position where whatever level of ass kissing or, you know, just general pride for their people, they got themselves in a position where they can defend themselves, i.e. their own governments, i.e. their own armies and shit like that, right? Let's say like a Japan, they got 2 fucking bombs dropped on them, but you know, the resurgence of their country, right? That hasn't been the case with African countries, Caribbean countries, or Negroes here in America, right? We still get that whip, a la just yesterday, 10 Negroes getting shot at Buffalo, like on some stupid shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they assume because they were able to lift themselves up, they have this connection to or closeness to whiteness, right? And because of that, you know, they look at Negroes the way white people look at Negroes, with this lower end, you know, kind of mentality. So they find themselves, y'all remember a couple years ago, you know, beating on black women at a fucking nail shop or, you know, at a hair store and shit like that. And they assume that, you know, shit is cool because they look at Negroes the way they do, but it's all based on stereotypes. It's all based on the bullshit they see on TV, right? But also, again, do we pride ourselves on fucking these motherfuckers up to show them like, yo, like, we're not that people to fuck with? No, we don't do that. We don't do it in mass. We don't do that shit, right? So yeah, like by proxy, the motherfuckers don't respect us. And it's also like, shit, do we respect ourselves?
Yeah, when we go in a nail shops, B, and you see how we be acting, they got the hair stores, the carry outs,
Yeah.
all that. Like, is that contributing to how they look at us, B?
Absolutely. If you go to the average carry out, notice how they have the wall set up. Notice how they hand us the food, how they deliver the food to us, how they interact with us. Yeah, absolutely. That contributes a part largely to how they interact with us. One thing I do want to piggyback on the story you gave. Was it the who said we don't have liquor here? Was it
He
the
said
Asian?
they don't. It was the Chinese dude.
The Chinese dude.
I'm saying Chinese. He could have been
right. I
like
understand that.
Asian, yeah.
And the white dude walked away.
Yeah, because he was talking to the Chinese dude, and Dre felt disregarded.
Okay, but the white dude was the barista, and
Correct.
he eventually walked away.
Yes, sir.
So I'm confused on why he had walked away. But if the Asian dude isn't the barista, he should have just stayed out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my whole take on it. See, this is how ass whippings take place. Bullshit. Like, people just can't mind their business. The Asian dude, he should have just stayed out of it. And if the barista walked away, then he should have been reprimanded for walking away. Because at that point, it could be looked as, well, you abandoned your job. I mean,
well, no, I think he like walked down the bar, like he didn't leave. But he like,
okay. So well, in that case, it could be looked at maybe he didn't want to get involved in the conflict, so he isolated himself. Because we can always say bartenders do walk around the bar to serve other people, so we could always say that as well. But the Asian dude should have just stayed out of it. I mean,
but that's the thing. If you see kids doing shit, right? Even if they're not your kids, like if kids just doing dumb shit, you might be standing. You might be like, "Yo, y'all sit down," or whatever the case is. Right. You've ever done that before? Like you just see some kids wilding, they about to bump into somebody at the grocery store. You'll reprimand a kid. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not your kid, you might not be over aggressive, right? But you be like, "Hey, y'all chill out." You know what I mean?
Right. You're right.
This is what happened to Dre. Right, to Eddie's point, they look at us as lesser than, you know, like they disciplining us type shit.
Right.
You feel me? I think that's how I feel. Like when he thought he could speak out of turn, he looking at him like he ain't shit.
Right.
Adrian, what you think, man? Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I was just saying, certain people he's had the Asian dude said that, like some of the friends I'm with or whatever, like I would have checked the Asian dude. I wouldn't check them in a violent way, but I definitely would have checked them. But what I'm saying is certain people I hang around, that would have been a fight right off the grip. And then the certain people I hang around, if they jumping in fighting, I got to jump in fighting. And then I got to sit back and be like, well, why you fought dude? Well, old dude said something out the way. See, there's a whole bunch of shit that the Asian dude, he shouldn't have said nothing. Because certain people I hang out with, you say something like that to them, that's a fight. So, I mean, he should have just stayed out of it.
What you think, Adrian?
No, I feel like, man, like everything, like I agree with everything y'all saying, man. The black man is portrayed as just like the bottom by everybody. You know what I'm saying? So for different backgrounds, Asian, whatever they are, I see why they do it, because that's all they see of us. Whether it's our women, whether it's white people, we are at the bottom of the totem pole. If you were to take somebody specifically just like neutral and just place them in society, right? Watching TV, going places, they would come from everything that they see and think, okay, the black man is at the bottom. And part of that is our own doing, but we don't have access to everything that white people have access to. So they pretty much determine how we are portrayed on a larger scale. So that doesn't surprise me at all that Dre went through that. Now, I would have said something to the Asian dude.
Right. I think he said something. He said, "I know this is not a bar, yada yada yada." You know what I'm saying? Like I think he had a dialogue, but
no, I wouldn't have had just a regular like dialogue. Like I would have, like, no, who the fuck you think you talking to? Type of like, you know what I'm saying? It would have had to at least be a stern conversation, but it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yo, Bub, do you think the Asians, especially in our communities, do you think they treat us worse?
Yeah, I do. But not to throw it all on Asians. I know that's the topic right now, but not to throw it on just them. It's just like the American Negro. We at the bottom of the barrel, baby. We at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like in the to get back to what Eddie was saying, because this shit been on my mind since yesterday. With little Caucasian homie that ran up in that Buffalo grocery store.
Yeah.
He killed 10 of us, and and 3 others I guess were like wounded. See, it's shit like that. We've been dealing with for quite some time. Everything is like a copycat type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, y'all. Like I'm not condoning any type of violence, but I've been saying this shit for years, yo. Senseless acts of crime need to be conducted with acts of crimes. You know what I'm saying? If you kill my mother for no reason because she's at a fucking grocery store, I'm gonna blow your brains out too. We don't need no trial. We don't need no court. Because here's the thing, right? There's never been a situation where something like this happens And then there's been a rebuttal where, okay, well, homie went in his church and shot it the fuck up. But then Deacon Jones went in the back of the goddamn congregation, grabbed that shotgun and blew his fucking head off. You know what I'm saying? It's always that Michelle Obama type situation where it's like, oh, if they go low, we go high. Man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? That's out. You know what I'm saying? We gotta start giving others the same type of energy that they give us. You know what I'm saying? I got a 95-year-old great grandmother. She's been seeing this shit her whole fucking life. If she ain't seen no change, why the fuck we think we gonna see change?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to start standing up for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know, now getting back to the Asian situation where you brought up saying that, you know, are they more influenced by the Caucasians? Yes, that's because they want to be Caucasian too. That's because they see themselves as being more than us as well. You know what I'm saying? Not only them, but even like Africans in the United States, they look at the American Negro as well. It's like we at the fucking bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, they do.
Dead ass. Yeah. So it's just not one group. It's multiple groups that look at us like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we still out here on this fuckery shit that we doing on a constant daily basis. You know, we ain't showing no type of like real like unity, no type of real progression. Like, man, this shit getting out of control. And that's why these situations they're gonna constantly keep happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what's crazy?
We're spending all this money on Chinese restaurants that's on the corner of our hoods. We're spending all this money on these liquor stores. Yo, I go to this liquor store and you know, kudos to them too. I go to this liquor store down the street from my house, you know, every weekend, right? And it's owned by Asians, right? Yeah. Now, when I first moved into the neighborhood, right? You know, I come in, you know, I come in the shop as myself. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying I'm greeting the owners and everything. But I feel like in the beginning, they ain't really know me because they ain't see me a lot because I'm new. So they probably thought I was some young thug or what have you. But shit, I'm in my fucking late 30s at the time, right? So it was like after like 3 weeks at the counter, I had to you know, pretty much check, you know, the owner. I looked at Shorty, I said, listen, let's just get this out of the way right now. I'm not no young thug coming in your shop. I know you seen me multiple times throughout this month. Just know I'm gonna be here often. You don't got to worry about me. And I'm always gonna pay. My money always good. You know what happened after that conversation? Every time I walk in that fucking store now, they greet me with a smile. You know what I'm saying? And we talk. Because they see now, okay, he's one of they might consider me as one of the good ones. But stop trying to stereotype all of us like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm spending this bread.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Bub made a hell of a point that we got to start doing that we could do right now. This instance, anybody watching, everybody on the panel, make these motherfuckers be polite to us. Make them say hello, right? They always just take the chips at 7-Eleven or give you the bottle at the liquor store or at the carryout. They just throw the shit under the thing and spin it.
Right. Don't you hate that shit? Right?
Make the motherfuckers say hi.
Hold motherfuckers accountable, man. Hold them accountable.
But just start there, though. Make them say hi. Did you say hello? Did you speak? Did you say thank you? You know what I'm saying? Because the Arab, the Chinese man, right? The Asian man, that's how they treat us. They treat our women like shit in the nail salon and in the beauty supply store, right? We gotta go to these places. We don't have our own yet. I get that, but make them say hi at least. Like start there, and watch the reaction you get. You know what I'm saying? Me and B was out, right, and one of our friends, she brought this white girl, right? Don't shit change, bro.
Yes, Lord.
Don't nothing change. I told her the fucking truth. Right? Period. No. Yes, you gonna pay for all this. You goddamn right. Yes, you all the same. Period. You don't get these your ancestors too. Everybody regenerates, nigga. You could have been the lady in Rosewood that got 30 black people killed because you lied because you was getting fucked by some Freemason, matter of fact, B. That was a traveling man and shit. You could have been her. This shit ain't free. Thanks for marching, but somebody got to pay for the crimes of your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? So, said I seen you unmute. What you had something?
Oh no, I mean, with this whole situation, it's a lot deeper for me. You know, I mean, you follow me on Facebook. I've been talking about this type of stuff for years now. This the system at which is in place, we're still looked at as a product, as American Negroes, because I don't do that African American shit because I don't really have no ties to Africa. So how am I going to say I'm African American when I really don't have these ties to African? I'm too far removed from that. My people were taken away too long ago. So now as we transition to these times, we're still looked at as a product that was used to and given rights. We didn't really really earn, really do what we had to do. And we don't really have the backing of anybody. And that's what it boils down to, because as an African American, quote unquote, or American Negro, whichever you choose to call yourself, you don't have any source or political system behind you because we're Americans. That's all we have. And Americans don't respect us. So why is an Asian that comes over here from Japan that can go back to their political country have that backing? Why would they respect us more than the America that has basically created us? You know what I mean? And that's any country. You go from Japan, you go to Russia, you go to anywhere. Everyone has a source at which they can go back and receive help from. We don't have that. We don't have nothing in that in our structure like that we can go and count on to help us out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it said the new term. Well, I ain't say it's new, but the term that I think I think I endear more is American descendants of slaves, because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. Because I mean, you got the slavery, you got the trade, you got this country being built on the slaves' back after being stolen from the indigenous people here. They created this whole platform. But then you think about it, and I've pointed this out for years. If you look at like job applications, you look at census stuff, you see everything. You'll see different items, and you'll see Blacks and African Americans all in one. And then you'll look at Russian; it has its own thing. I don't see no white Americans because realistically, they aren't originally from here neither. When it comes down to it. So it's just weird, the whole system, that the way it's structured and way it's set up. And again, we're not going to get no respect because we don't have nobody to demand the respect. And we're not going to do it together. We rather fight each other over some shit we don't own than to come together and try to figure this shit out. Because at the end of the day, with our numbers and with our strength and our structure, if we ever did it, we can cause some problems. Definitely can cause some problems.
Yeah, it says if we were to pool the Black American so-called, right, we would be the 10th richest country if we pooled our money, Black America. But you know, our dollar circulates out our community. What is it, 2.2 seconds or some shit like that?
Right.
And you right, said we don't got good leaders. I'm sick of them exalting these goddamn pastors and reverends. Fuck Al Sharpton, nigga. You've been the man for 40 fucking years, and we haven't made no progress.
Shit change.
Jesse, what is Jesse? The fucking whoremonger, right? In Chicago, he got 7 houses, and 1,000 niggas get shot a year.
Jesse a fed too. He an agent.
You see what I mean? Yo,
Put him in the fucking bed.
I'm so mad. Yo, and it's crazy how they demonize us, right? At every turn, bro. You take World War II, right? Goddamn, the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor. It's a fucking military base, right? Military on military. The white man turned around and bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Washington, D.C., and New York City. If that ain't the most evil, devilish fuck, you drop a nuclear bomb, these people infected for 10, 20 years. But somehow we the worst people in the world. That shit is crazy, bro.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
That shit make me mad, man. I swear.
Telling you.
Yo, bro. And then guess what they're gonna do with boy that shot the people? God bless the dead. They're gonna put him in isolation.
Yeah.
They're gonna put him in solitary. If they put him in gym pop, his ass is grass, and they know that, so they protect him.
He gonna be fed well. He gonna get the best medication.
Yo, they don't, bro. Eddie, say something, man. I'm about to throw my
I think
computer
that
across the
I
screen.
think that
Man.
crack is an agent too, bro. Like these type of things happen too often to where motherfuckers are so disillusioned by the shit. I mean, it's fucked up. God bless those 10 souls, man. But you can't tell me that this cracking out an agent or some sort of chaos, perpetrated by whatever agency to come do that shit. It's silly shit that's just like he had nigger written out on his AR-15. He let some cracker go that he almost shot. It's just like, come on, man. And what the fuck happens at around this time, bruh? We're almost close to what? The fucking election cycle, bruh. It's all about manipulation, bruh. You gotta look at the psychosis of how this fucks our people up, but also the spiritual aspect of it, bruh. These motherfuckers been practicing active demonology, bruh, on a consistent basis. This shit is spiritual warfare as well, right? They already know niggas are not fucking with this voting machine that is rigged like a motherfucker, but it's just like, oh, we got to do something to make sure the niggas are on point. Let's scare them with some wild ass event and some sort of, rogue agent that's gonna do some wild shit. It's just like, oh man, we need more policy for this and that, yada yada. Okay, vote for us. Like the shit is cyclical as fuck, bro. Like I don't understand how more of our people don't see this shit, but it's like, yo, at this point, motherfuckers gotta get strapped up, bro. Like it's to a degree where it's just like, yo, if you see a cracker like that walking in somewhere and he take one person down, bro, I'm blasting, bro. I don't care. I'm blasting, bro. I'm just like, I'll go take your ass down, and I take the consequences of that versus you taking another several black people down. It's just like, nah, bro.
Yeah. Eddie got a little bit of an echo for some reason. Yo, that shit is. Yo, we went paintballing yesterday. Yo, they be out there practicing, bro. I'm telling you, that ass, like they out there practicing, man. If you even Jesus told niggas, yo, if you don't got a strap, sell your fucking clothes and go get one, nigga.
Yeah, go get a sword. Yep.
Yeah, that's in the Bible, goddamn it. For all you Christians who that nigga you supposed to turn the other cheek, that ain't what that means.
Hey, but
breaking up,
really don't have that's part of the problem though. That's part of the situation right now.
Yeah.
When you look at the whole gun situation of it, lately I've been seeing like a lot of these kids are learning about building their firearms now. And it's something that they've been doing for a long time. We didn't really know. We didn't know that we could. We weren't as savvy when it came down to it. So now I'm seeing like a lot, they're buying like these 80%ers and all this stuff where they're building their own ARs, they're building their own whatever, and it's all been legal. But now you see now they're trying to change the laws to where you can't buy those no more because it's been an influx of mostly young, unfortunately, and our people buying all these 80% and building their guns and getting everything straight. Now everything is a concern. Everybody's worried, and now they want to change all these laws. And that's the whole thing. When we do things, it affects change. When we come together and start seeing stuff and learning stuff, it affects change, and they create the system to try to change the stuff so that we can do what we've been doing and what they've been doing for years.
Yeah. Now you 100%, man. Look at this, yo. What do you notice about this picture that is appalling?
He come ready like he goddamn going to war.
No, that's
guy. And the fact he's still standing, taking
exactly.
They had him real gently with ease.
He looked like he one of their co-workers.
If y'all remember back in 2015, 14, Dylan and Roof out of Charleston, South Carolina, he shot up the several people in the church.
Yeah.
When they apprehended him in North Carolina, notice they put a bulletproof vest on him. What the fuck?
And they gave him some Burger King. Yeah, that nigga a Whopper.
What the fuck?
No, they be wanting to do that. They be wanting to do that shit to us, bro. Go ahead, Bob.
Our people are too conditioned at this point, and we're pretty much like raised this way too, to like not to like obey and bow down type shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling y'all right now, we got to get out of that. And let me tell you something. My people in CT too, study up. your fucking study up your laws on, you know, carrying a firearm and getting your permit, so on and so forth. Because as soon as Connecticut said we had the right to open carry, I don't see a lot of our people open carrying. I see the others out here brandishing their firearms. I only seen one brother. I saw one brother at a gas station, you know, with his joint out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if a lot of us don't know or we ain't paying attention, but yo, we need to start paying attention because just like Eddie said, like if you in the grocery store or in a church or anything and you see somebody acting the fuck up, if you've been practicing yourself and you've been training and you already got your joint on your hip, yo, take them the fuck out. Do not wait for no police. Your auntie or your grandmother could be 3 hours down trying to get some toilet paper or something, getting their fucking brains blown out. Take him the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Your license, your life is threatened at that point. There's other citizens' lives being threatened at that point. Don't wait for no police. They ain't there yet. They ain't there yet. Take him the fuck out. And then you wait for them to come. And then you face the consequences there. Don't wait for no trial. Don't wait for no jury. We got to stop thinking like that. These motherfuckers ain't thinking about, you know, what's best for us. They thinking about what's best for them. You know what I'm saying?
But
when we gonna smarten up? When we gonna smarten up?
What you say to the brother? Well, Adrian, let me pose this question to you, right? Because what Bub's saying, what you say to the brother that the brothers out here that's saying they got too much to lose now?
I feel like, because I get it from the standpoint, like if I look at myself, right? Like I got all girls. I got to make sure everything's straight. So I get why we may not want to put ourselves in certain situations, but I feel like our community and just needs to be bigger than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, but to Bub point, if somebody trying to hurt black people, it's up to us to step in and dead that right away. And if all of us is on that type of time, we'll be good. So it's really no room to sit back and say, oh, nah, I got to worry about, you know, just mine and I'm not going to help protect these other people. You know what I'm saying? So if you in a situation like that, somebody pulling out a gun on somebody else, or like when we talked about before that scenario, you see one black man getting jumped. I can't, I'm not going to help. Like certain things need to supersede ourselves as individuals, y'all.
So you willing to die for this shit?
Of course.
I think I just don't know. Like, is everybody really willing to die? Like, I think that's the message, Bub. You know, that's the other part of that too. He ain't just gonna be letting you shoot him.
You know, but that's why I said, you know, let's just clear everything up. Because you don't know what you would do if you in that situation, because none of us been in that situation yet. But if you train and you in the right position to handle your business, if you got a shot, what I'm saying is take that motherfucking shot. If homie pointing his gun, you know, at an elderly woman about to blow her fucking brains out, and you behind him, blow his fucking brains out. He can't see you. Take him the fuck out. If you in position, take him out. Because the casualties can be, you know, way more severe if you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I'm not saying, you know, go rogue and be Rambo like them. But if you in position and you trained, you've been training, take him the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because 3 months from now, it's going to be somebody else doing the same fucking thing. It's going to be a copycat situation because we keep letting this shit happen. I'm telling you that right now.
Is it? Let me ask you, Eddie. Is it our fault these niggas they think they could do this type of shit to us? I'm talking about men.
Yeah, it is our fault. Part of it being the emasculation that has occurred not just for 400 years, but over 6,000 years when the first pink toe touched Africa. You know what I'm saying? They have been systematically putting fear into our spirit for a long time. And mind you, black men have been fighting these motherfuckers for a long fucking time, as I just mentioned, right? But in our modern context, we have access to guns. We have access to carry licenses, right? We have access to life insurance. We have access to tools, right, that can put us in a position where these crackers will think 2, 3, 4, 5 times before they even touch one of us, right? But again, as I mentioned earlier, we don't have a collective mindset, right? We don't have a love of self, right? And for those that do, we get discarded, right? We get called hoteps and all this other shit, right? We get called, doing too much. Are you too preachy? And it's interesting for a motherfucker to get called too preachy, as much religion as our people digest, right? And all the other bullshit, right?
Right.
But in terms of black men not necessarily being the pillars of protection that we should be, it's been taken away from us for so long. For the soldiers that are still left, right? We have emasculation to deal with. We have all sorts of faggotry to deal with, right? The type of imagery that our children are consuming, all this other shit, right? So now you have, and as an educator, man, you got kids that just like, they rather just fall back, right? You still got the kids out here that want to, throw hands and all that. But most of our people want to shoot, but they only want to shoot each other. But when it come down to shooting motherfuckers that are legitimately disrespecting your community, that are legitimately disrespecting your woman, motherfucker, our triggers go cold for some reason. It's just like, motherfuckers got guns. Black people got guns, legally or illegally. Motherfuckers got guns. But when it comes down to like blasting motherfuckers that deserve to be blasted on, motherfuckers just freeze. Like, and you mentioned at the top of the show, it's just like, yo, when it comes down to it, man, I done had situations where I let crackers slide on shit, but they saw my face. They saw enough to where it's just like, I'm not the nigga to fuck with, bruh. And I will slap the shit out of you, right? And I put myself in a compromising position, even professionally, but it's just like, motherfuckers need to know at all times, you'll get rocked. They have to feel that, right?
Yeah.
Understanding if you're a black man and we already have that intimidation factor, right? Even if you're the nicest black person on earth, you're still intimidated to these crackers, even though they violent as fuck. You gotta let them know, man. You walk in the room, man. I'd rather walk with that as opposed to being like, oh, this nigga he ain't gonna do shit. We could disrespect him. You could be at a fucking Starbucks. Oh, we don't sell liquor here. I'm just like, nigga, do y'all sell fucking fortune cookies? I came in here for some wonton. Lee, don't walk away, Lee. I'm talking to you, Lee. Like, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Like, you gotta be on that type of shit all the time. And like, I get labeled aggressive, but it's just like, nah, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah. Yo, there's a point Eddie hit on that I want to kind of highlight. Right. So our generation, by and large, we don't have fathers, right? I think, we come from the crack era. You know what I'm saying? We don't really have fathers. If you notice though, we are fathers though. We are more prevalent in our children's lives than the generation of yesteryear. Even the early millennials, because we millennials, but the kid, you ever notice the second generation NFL players now? I don't know if you noticed, like Patrick Surtain, and Winfield Jr. A lot of second generation, they have fathers. It makes a difference. But the emasculation and everything that Eddie highlighted, I want this question answered. I'm gonna start with B on this one. I feel like this is a big part of why we are in a matriarchal in terms of the black community, because women run our community right now. Unlike the majority of other communities, women run our community. I didn't have a father, this, that, and the third. You hear that all the time. B, when does this stop being an excuse?
I would say around high school. That's when you're starting to mature, you're starting to develop.
Said I'm coming to you after. Go ahead, B.
No, it's when you're starting to put things in a perspective for your life and for yourself and for your future. There's I was fortunate that although I didn't have a father in the household, I did have older brothers and some uncles in the community who did teach me things. But also, like I always say, it is different when they aren't not living in the household. I was also the type of dude, I never made an excuse. Like, I just went out there and I just made it do what it do. I moved out of my mother's house when I was 22, got my own apartment. I've had cars, I've had jobs, I've been in management roles. I never felt like because I never had a father figure in my life that was an excuse. And majority of the men that I hung around who didn't have father figures, they never used that as an excuse either. I would say for me to not have a father figure in my life, I grew up pretty good. And I feel like I've made a great life for myself thus far. As I've talked about on Thursday, the only thing I've struggled with was not having that father figure to teach me about women and how to game for the most part. But I would say to answer the question, when does that stop being an excuse? I would say around high school. All right.
So B, I want to highlight. I hear you.
Right.
That, but you use a lot of possessive pronouns, right?
Right.
You, I, my, right? Your, right? So from a macro level, this has been an excuse in our community. Why our community's fucked up because we didn't have this, that, and the third, and then we stay in this perpetual hell that I think Eddie highlighted best, right? And we too pussy to do what Bub said we should do.
Right.
And a lot of it comes back to this. I hear that often. So said, when does not having father figures stop being an excuse?
I personally just don't think it ever should be an excuse or should have been an excuse. Unfortunately, like we've said before, with the system and how the system has taken the community, our community specifically, away from the community, i.e., moving jobs out of our urban community. We have the warehouse and things of that nature, so which kind of pushes the men out. But at the end of the day, it can't be an excuse that you use because today's times there are too many outside resources that these kids use in our community right now to use that as an excuse for your success in life, whether it be you a male or female, or I'm out here doing this as because I didn't have a man to teach me and show me. There's enough research that you can do to show you as a woman, I'm out here on the pole or doing whatever that I'm doing because I didn't have no man. I didn't have the love from a man. I'm searching for love in the wrong places. All of it is just a bunch of excuses that are non-existent to me. There's no way that lack of, when today you have all the research that you have at your hands, that's your excuse for not succeeding in life.
Yeah. Okay. Adrian, what you think?
If I had to put an age on it, I'd say maybe around like 21, 22-ish, I'll say, because I think it affects people so differently, and a lot of times people don't even see it, right? So I get how people can use it. People can use it as an excuse to kind of stay where they are at, but I think at least by that time, you'll be able to see the effects, and with everything we have available to us in terms of like information, therapists, like things like that. I think once you hit that age, you've seen enough, you've been through enough, your brain is developed enough to where you can learn the skills that you need to learn, right? Like you can go get all of that information. So I'll say around 21, 22 that it should no longer be a factor.
You think, Bub, you think you far enough ahead at 22?
I would say yes, but I'm more so. My answer would be more so towards Ced's lane. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's no disrespect to Adrian either. I don't think there's really no set age to where not having a father is no longer an excuse. And I'll give you a few prime examples. Like my father was around in my younger years. Him and my mother got divorced at like when I was like around 6. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really, I'm not gonna say he was a bad father. I would just say, he had some demons he had to handle, that it took him quite some time to, get situated. But long story short, there was things that I did as a young boy that just kicked in like naturally with me, and there was no father there to show me, hey son, you should do this in this situation or that. And I remember being in elementary school. We didn't have a car, and my mother went to the grocery store in a blizzard, and she couldn't get a cab back to the crib. So I knew exactly how far the grocery store was. So she called. She's like, you know, I ain't gonna be home for a while because ain't no cars moving. So what I did was, you know, I took my little 10-year-old ass and I walked to that grocery store and I went and got my mother and we pushed those fucking carriages home together in that blizzard. You know what I'm saying? Can't no man teach me that. Didn't no man teach me, say, listen, son, you should do this in this type of situation. I just felt in my heart, listen, it sound like my mother's in distress. She sound like fucking hurt. Like, let me try to go do something. So it was little situations like that, you know, that I did a lot in my younger years, and that shit just kicked in naturally. Now, I had other role models in my life, you know, that assisted, you know, with my growth. But as far as like the whole father figure aspect, like, man, it's just like something natural that gotta kick in, man. Like I'm saying, and you never know when it's gonna kick in. That's, to me, that shit just kicked in like naturally. But as I got as I got older, as I became like you know, a late teen or whatnot, you know, I felt like there was things that, you know, I was mentally and physically prepared for that the world was gonna hit me with. But then, you know, there was some other things that, you know, I really wasn't. But, you know, everything worked itself out. So I can't really say, you know, what age pertaining to, you know, what A was just, you know, spitting out. So I don't know, man. I think that shit kick in naturally, man. It ain't no age limit on that.
Some shit just in your DNA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, only reason why I gave a age, because we all know like it's different, but I feel like by that time you at least see some of the things that, like, maybe some patterns, or you know what I'm saying, whether it's how you don't know how to treat women, you at least see some of that. And so by that time, once you start to see it, you now have, I feel like we now can go get the tools needed to be able to start working ourselves out of some of those things that we have as not having our father around, whether it's books, whether it's therapist, mentorship. Like, the exposure and amount of information that's available to us now is more than ever. So I feel like 21, 22, we should be able to assess any deficits that we have and be able to go do what's needed to, you know, kind of correct them.
But like, hey, like even when it comes to, like, you know, learning how to treat women, like, it wasn't no man that like really showed. Yo, I learned that from doing women dirty, and it was like, yo, this shit can't be the wave. Like, I gotta change something up. You know what I'm saying? My pops was in there to show me, you know, how to treat a woman, because him and my mother wasn't together that long in a household to show me that, hey son, this is what real love looked like, per se. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had like grandparents and stuff like that, but they wasn't in the house. I ain't lived with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but some things, that shit just gotta come, you know, through trial and error.
Right, but like you were saying, so imagine if you did have your father around to teach you that, to model that for you as you were growing up, you would know that a lot sooner. You know what I'm saying? Because you have it. So with that being absent, that's why I said around your early 20s, you're old enough now to where you've been through enough things, your brain is developed enough, and you've experienced enough things to where now things should start clicking for yourself. Like you said, like, I can't just keep doing women like this. You know what I'm saying? By that amount of time, everybody, and I'm just throwing a number out there too, right? So like, I know it's different people. It takes other people longer to see things, but if you don't have that man in there giving you the discipline, giving you the structure, giving you all of those things, by at least 20 something, you should be able to no longer use that as an excuse. You should have enough to where you can at least get the tools, like I said, needed, or get in the environment, or get the people around you to where you can really start to change and be, you know, who you ultimately want to be.
But society say we grown at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's why I say older, because so like when I turned 18, like my father didn't grow up. I ain't live with my dad, right? He lived in a whole nother state. So when I was 18, I had that same mindset. Even in high school, like nobody's gonna tell me what to do. I'm a man now. I'm in college, like I'm a man. But around that 22 age, that's when I started to learn, okay, manhood has nothing to do with my age. It's more so about my responsibilities, because now these responsibilities and things that are coming up in my life. So that's why I say around that mid-20 age, that's when you start to kind of see like, okay, nah, I need to do shit differently if I'm going to be successful, kind of period. Right? I can value my life, how I look at things, the type of decisions that I made. Now I got to be held accountable. Period. There becomes no more excuses. Once you become a young man and you got to take care of your own responsibilities and you have kids and you got bills, whatever it is you need to do to be successful, we no longer can blame that on anything. And so that's why I give that age. After that age, there's no excuses for nothing, regardless of how you were brought up, if you want to be successful and independent on what success look like to you.
Yeah, but the only thing where I push back against that whole situation though is you might have a father that's in the house that is abusive or that is running around on your mother. So I mean, he's really not teaching you anything as far in that area. You know what I mean? He might have some strong points somewhere. However, you know, he's not really bringing too much to the table to help with your actual development in life. But you've seen where there's some kids who has the mom that is not in the home and the son is the oldest and he has to take care of his younger siblings. So he has to man up and make sure they're home from school, make sure they're doing their work, make sure they're this, make sure at a real young age, you know what I'm saying? Just caring for, and that quote unquote man role in the house. At the end of the day, that's why I say when it comes to the age, I can't put no specific age on it. It's all, I mean, everybody develops different. Everybody has something in them that others don't. So at the end of the day, father or not, what's going to happen in some plays just going to happen. It's just going to matriculate in its own little way.
You know, on that point, Seb, I feel like Bub was done a disservice, right? Just using him as a specific example, right? Not the only person, but he had to do what you said,
right?
At 10 years old, right? He wasn't allowed to be a child at 10 years old. You feel me? So he developed these traits early. It was innate to him. But why are we put in that predicament in the first place? Right? Like I say, we don't cry from pain, but like we don't even know how to express emotion because you had to man up at such an early age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, well, we know why. I mean, systematically, again, everything with a lot of stuff with me is the system. So you going back from slavery on up to these days, it was all about getting the man out of the house. And for the all-star man, the bucks, the strong man, it's all about that man producing more kids. So systematically, you've been trained throughout the years to go out here, sleep with a whole bunch of women. If you that all-star, if you're that guy, if you're not that guy, you get in the field, you help the women, you do this, you do that. Then as you transition to the current system, now is in order for you to get this help and assistance, your man can't be in the house. So why can't I get some of the assistance that we need if my man is in the house? Because the system doesn't want it created that way. So therefore, that's how it all transitions up until now. It's all about having a man out of the house in the first place. So Bub has to deal with something like that. Not that this is the exact, situation for him, but it's all about keeping a man out of the house, having these people on the system. Now the man can possibly become more than likely a part of the legal system because he can't afford to pay his child support, so forth and so on.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're not wrong. Eddie, what's your thoughts?
I had my pops in my life, still in my life. It's never an issue. I also was fortunate to have existential masculine energy in my life. So I'm talking uncles, grandfathers, all of that, right? In terms of my development, like I never thought about it the way y'all are articulating it. It just was, right? I'm also Afro-Latino, so I come from a different country. And I also come from a space where masculinity is the base and nothing else, right? So in relation to what Bub and Hamp, the level of energy that y'all showed earlier when motherfuckers are disrespecting like that, that shit is not a game anywhere else, right? Like, and I feel for my, Afro American brothers when it comes to that, right? And the emasculation that happens here, motherfuckers don't play that shit anywhere else, bro. Like, motherfuckers will slap the shit out of you just based on just honor and respect, right? So masculinity for me was always a constant. It was always something that you paid attention to because the men just didn't play, right? Like, they were honorable, they respected the women, all those things, right? But I can't speak on, having components that were missing for me or had to like develop in a particular way because anytime I had to learn something, there was a black man there to teach me, right? And it was quick. It was swift. It was just like, nah, young man, like, you're going to go this way. Like, no, men don't do that. Like, no, this is how you function, right? To Seth's point about, everybody grows differently, it's very, very true, right? So coming to the States and like looking at how things are here, there's certain shit that I don't correlate with, right? And I think that's why me and Hamp, rock so tough because it's like we look at shit in a certain way. It's just like, yo, why is that motherfucker walking like that? Like, men shouldn't switch when they walk, right? Like, or like I'm looking at certain shit. It's just like I just, I laugh it off, but it's just like, man, a motherfucker shake my hand and it's all flimsy, or like I'm paying attention to shit like this, right? And I'm not calling no man out of his sexuality, but it's just like those are components I could tell like nobody told you how to firmly shake somebody's hand.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, again, I've been around a whole bunch of kids the last 12 years being an educator. So I see a lot of shit and I redirect, right? And again, being called intimidator, right? Like when I was in schools, I'm in a suit and a bow tie. That's already like, oh, this motherfucker, like, but again, walk in, smile, all of that shit, things that are not expected of black men. But you knew not to fuck with me. Like, that was immediate, right? And that's why I'm consistent around the fact that you could be the nicest black man in the world, but when you hear some shit, like, pump the brakes, look at a motherfucker, it's just like, do we have a problem? Are you okay? Walk me through your motherfucking feelings, because you're not about to disrespect me, my woman, or whatever situation is going on. That's why, I fully agree with Pub on that part of me. It's just like, yo, like, when you see some shit, address it there. Because that motherfucker in their culture or in their mind assume that because black men are seen as this or whatever. And yeah, like, unfortunately, because we don't own the media, Jews do. Because we don't run advertising, right? White people do. Like, we get the bottom of the barrel in terms of our imagery, right? RIP Kevin Samuels, just like, yo, if you don't do shit else, control your fucking narrative, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just to answer the question, masculinity for me and manhood, man, have never been something that I've been lacking or didn't have direction with. So I grew up in a way in which, like, I'm chill as fuck, man. Like, we ever get to hang out in person, man, but you're gonna see like a nigga act crazy, bro. It's gonna be like, oh, we got outside, bro. We outside. Let's go talk. You know what I'm saying?
Word, man. Yo, this shit is crazy, man. I hope everybody who watching is listening, and like my sister Racine said, man, this is a safe space for us, you know what I mean, to really express it so y'all understand. Because I don't know how expressive we are with our women, you know what I mean, like in these vulnerable places, because you know how it be sometimes, not necessarily with our women, but with women, you tell them, you get in a vulnerable space. As soon as they get mad at you, they use that vulnerable space against you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it happen. I had it happen. So I just want everybody to really understand like what it is that's being said. You feel me? Because I think it's super important, man. So shout out to y'all. And this was a good one, man. That ass, y'all niggas is all right, man. Eddie, do you speak Spanish?
Obviamente que sí. ¿Qué tú crees? Yeah, man.
That nigga said Taco Bell, man.
Put him in the get him out of here. Come on.
Yo, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend, man. Listen.
Hey, stupid, man.
after this episode, I fucking hate Jerry Springer. But I do like one of his constructs. So B, final thought.
Let's be the best men we can be. Let's be the best versions of ourselves that we can be.
Indeed. Adrian.
Men need other men, man. So the show is dope. I encourage all of y'all men, get you a good community of men who can help hold you accountable, who not gonna sugarcoat things, and just to give you that different perspective, man. But men definitely need other men.
Word. Said.
Stay ready. You don't have to get ready, and that's with everything. It's not just firearms language. It's in life. If you stay ready, you stay prepared mentally and physically, you will be able to handle majority of things that you have to deal with when you're going through life.
Word. Eddie.
Yeah, handle your business, man. Always stay 10 toes deep, and don't let these crackers and whoever else disrespect you.
Word. Bob.
Excuses are like assholes, man. Everybody got one, man. Take them.
Yeah, man. There's
Hey, Hank, before you go, you see that question in the chat?
it just popped.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see.
I'll say put them around men that you trust.
Right.
You know, particularly if they're at school already. School's a good zone to, you know, get brothers who are about something. But make the key thing, men that you trust, right? Don't allow your son to be around no man that, you know, he's by himself with or anything like that. You know, be close. But yeah, just know the type of energy that's around, because every different man will teach your son something different for his own, you know, developmental growth.
Go ahead, Said. Give her some.
I agree. If you do know guys, whether from the past that you experienced, that you've seen be around and interact with kids in a positive manner, in a positive way. I'm not sure what area you in. Some football teams and coaches and things of that nature that kind of develop structure, they definitely can help out and help lead you and point you in the right direction. Even if you just go out and see for yourself, see what they bring to the table, enrolling your kids in it, and see who out there that you feel is and possibly could be a positive influence in some manners to your boy.
B, you gonna give her something?
Oh yeah, if you have any uncles, you know, of course, people that you trust, uncles, big brothers that you may have, or even if they're younger brothers, but of course they're of adulthood, someone that you can put your son around who you can trust, that you believe will lead your son in the right direction. Also, I wasn't big on sports. My only thing was swimming, and that really ain't, you know, a manly sport for the most part. But nonetheless, I say all that to say this. Put him in like some extra I forgot to pronounce the correct word. Yeah, that activities. A lot of men that didn't have a man in their life, I've noticed they've always played football and basketball. But get him in maybe like some manly sports. I've noticed that works out tremendously for a lot of men who didn't have a father in their life.
Bob, you gonna give her something?
Yeah, like what said was saying, and like what B was trying to get around to, but B don't rock with sports. But if you get your son involved with any type of you know, sports activity, like sports will teach a young boy, you know, discipline, structure, camaraderie, how to be on a team, and that, you know, that will transition into him becoming a man, and having to deal with situations where you may have to be a part of a team, so you already know how to handle any type of situation, you know, that occurs when, you know, you gotta use multiple minds to come up with, you know, one common ground or answer per se. But with that being said too as well, you know, don't, as you being a single mother, I know you're gonna have your temptations as well too, but don't have a lot of, you know, strange men coming in and out of the crib, because, you know, every man ain't gonna be a good role model or fit per se for your son. You know what I'm saying? A man could just be coming into your home trying to stroke your ego, and shit might seem good, but like it could be a detriment to your son as well, and that could fuck your son up in the long run. All right, so that's just my take on it. I'm not a professional, but that's just my take.
Sierra, I hope I hope you got a pen. These niggas is long winded as hell. So you wrote some of this shit down. Adrian, you got something for?
So yeah, pretty much everything that the guys were saying. Get your son in something that'll teach you some discipline. Don't try to be the father too. Don't be the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And give yourself grace as well too, because you only can do what you need to do. So make sure you're taking care of you, trying to become the best version of yourself. And then as you are finding these men or whatever activities you're putting them in, let the man do their job. So if it's a coach, let that coach do that job. If you put him in karate, let that man deal with your son and don't be trying to protect him and save him from like hurt feelings and stuff like that. Let that man take care of that. Don't be trying to save your son from all of these. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why it's important to make sure you trust him. So once you identified, okay, I'm going to trust my son to kind of be in this program or doing this sport or this coach or my uncle or this person, don't intervene. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things only a man is going to be able to, kind of teach him. So.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Concisely put them around men that you can trust. Father figures, understand that they are not his father, right? So they can do but so much, but the gravity of that is what you allow it to be. So when Adrian's saying, let him be coached, let him get hurt, let him get yelled at, and sit on the side because you don't know shit about football. So don't be the mom to act like she does. When he get hurt on the field, let him be hurt. Don't be running out there and shit like that, right? Let him be a boy. You know, I think that the society's so soft. Boys don't fucking cry. All right, not for no stub toe or no broken finger. Fuck that.
Shit, stub your toe on some shit now, nigga.
Nigga. Yo, your nail be falling off. That's the worst 2 weeks of your life. But like allow him to be that though, right? Not saying not in touch with himself, but in terms of like that physical pain, he can be tough in that way. It's okay, and remain in your femininity. Like Adrian said, don't try to cross the line because you're not gonna be successful, and we see that day in and day out, right? And he is gonna have some deficiencies because his father's not there on a daily basis. We get that, but just like Adrian said, do your absolute best, and I think that he'll be better for it. You know what I mean? So, indeed, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. In terms of my final thought, once again, Megan Thee Stallion.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
And I hope that women hold her accountable because I'm sick of y'all shit, man. Honestly. The gunman, please put him in general pop. Let's see how tough he really fucking is without the strap.
Man, that motherfucker's an agent. I'm telling you, bro.
Eddie, it's my turn. Goddamn it.
Ready to go.
You know what I mean? Like, but I think Eddie is correct, right? Because it was too casual, right? It was well planned. He got the pop 10 niggas. He put the gun to his neck, then laid it on the ground. But somehow he's standing up, right? No knee on his neck and shit like that, right? But you get a knee on your neck for a fake $10 bill. You know what I'm saying? God bless the dead, George Floyd. And I think that, we are doing a good job where the not having a father is not an excuse anymore. Because I think you see black men at phenomenal rates now, taking care of their children, being present, and then when we are present, we the best fathers. I don't even think it's close. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we got so much shit to fight through. When we parent our kids, we parent them from such a deep lens that other races, and it doesn't matter minority or not, they'll never understand it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to us, man. So we'll be back on Thursday what this might be risky podcast. We're gonna start it up for the ladies, and then we got that ain't in the Bible coming up this Friday. Does the Bible champion monogamy? We're gonna get into that. We're gonna peel that shit apart and see what's what. Right. By the time I'm done, B gonna have 3 girlfriends. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we out.